hinge bends, you lose leverage. You're going to lose energy. Now, here's another thing I want you to think about. I'm trying to keep this as simple as I can. How do you grip your rod? Anybody have a particular comfortable fish? Okay, extended.
Not this way.
Okay, so I call, because I'm a golfer, I like to think of it as a V grip. Right here, just like this. Okay. That's Joe does the extended. You like yours on top, right?
Yeah.
Bill, thumb on top.
Thumb on top.
Thumb on top. Okay. There's a lot of positives to this. A lot of positives. I feel limited though, because whenever I'm casting, I feel a little bit more ability. So whenever I want to raise these knuckles up, and I'll talk about this, when I raise these knuckles up, it's hard for me to do that with my thumb directly on top, coming back like this. If I turn it slightly to the side, I feel a little bit more comfortable coming here. But my power or pressure point changes. If your thumb's on top, your pressure point's right here, right on the very top, or the face of your thumb right here. It has to be there. When I turn my thumb to the side a little bit at a 45, my pressure point changes to this knuckle. If I don't feel pressure on that knuckle, I'm going to lose it. And I'll tell you what.
That's on your back cast or from forward cast?
On the forward cast. And this is, I'm very good at this. I'm going to apply pressure. My thumb's on the side. I'm going to apply pressure with my thumb. Whenever I did that, it didn't do it all that good because this rod's unbelievable. But I will get that, especially with my RPLX. My line's going to turn this way. Why? My thumb's on the side here. And as soon as I apply pressure with my thumb, what am I doing?
Bending your wrist.
It's putting pressure on the side just enough. No, I'm not down here. I'm
no,
on the side right here.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing is I'm pushing pressure on the side of the rod.
I thought you had some above.
No, I've got a V grip. That's what I typically use. But whenever I power with my thumb on that V grip, it pushes my rod tip slightly to the right. And my line's going to tail slightly to the right. It's going to turn to that side. And it happens every time I muscle up. So I'm muscling and I automatically, my thumb, in my mind, I put pressure with that thumb and I got to remember this. So when you're practicing, get into a habit of getting your pressure point. It's like an anchor point for an archer. When you come back to that anchor point, it's the same spot every single time. Every time. You need to feel it on every cast. You've got to feel that same spot, the pressure point, every time. Now when I do that, I'm going to get that line to go straighter because I can feel the pressure right here instead of muscling and trying to power by pushing with that thumb, which will cause that tip to turn for me every time to the right. Almost cost me a competition. I went out of bounds 6 inches in a 20-foot line because I'm muscling up. Boom! As soon as I did that, I could see that line start to turn just a little bit at the end. Went out of bounds. So if you're having problems, think about your grip. Where is the pressure point? And try to concentrate on keeping it as straight as possible. Don't just get up and try to throw 100 feet. You need to start at 60 feet and then go to 65 and then to 70. And what you want to try to do is you want to try to get a nice uniform loop right here. If you can get a good uniform loop through the air and you feel comfortable with this, I want you to just extend it just a little bit, and I'm not saying just shoot it. I want you to keep it in the air and keep a nice uniform loop as it goes through the air. And then what you'll do is I want you to increase your hand speed. This is going to give you distance. Keep the same loop, but increase your hand speed. And that's what I'm going to have you guys do a little bit here. Whenever you're casting, you're going to get a good distance, okay? You're comfortable with your distance. You get a nice loop. Now what I want you to do is I want you to increase your speed. Keep that loop, keep the loop, keep the loop. Increase it. Increase it some more. Then, you can haul, go ahead. Get it. Get to it. Keep it going. Keep it going. Now what am I doing? What am I I doing with that line? I'm increasing the speed. What happens when you increase the speed? You get more distance. Does that make sense? What makes the difference between a tournament caster and an everyday caster? From here to here. Hand speed. Their mechanics are perfect. And if they're going to be casting any tournament, their mechanics have to be perfect. If they aren't, they're not going to get what they need. Because it'll die on them. So what you do is you get your, this is what I like. I get a tracking right here. Then I get that hand speed going, and I can get that line to travel as far as I want it. Well, not as far as I want it, but far enough that I can accomplish a little bit of what I'm trying to do. So that's where your difference is. If you can't get the distance, it's only because of this. And then you see the stroke change. Now, if I was doing a tournament cast,
Your whole body.
yes, my body's rocking.
Yeah.
As I come back here, step
Standing on the line?
yeah, but see what I did is I extended back. If I'd have been able, I would have stayed off of that. We'd have been able to see the line travel at a much better pace. We'll just come back. And you can see the speed with just one back cast going forward. I don't know, 95, 100 feet. So it's keeping it straight, but generating speed is your key. And when you can generate speed with the proper mechanics, you will probably be able to cast as good as you possibly can. Everybody has a limitation, guys. Just understand it. Physical limitations. Don't go out and try to be a Steve Ray did or a Tim Ray did. Not everybody can do that. These guys condition themselves. They hit the weights. They practice continuously. And I say that for myself too, because if I try to come out and do like I used to, it's not going to happen. That's probably the best I can do right there. If I can get the full line, that's all I want to do. I don't need to go beyond that. And that's more than, when I was competing, 1% of all the anglers that I saw throwing could cast a full fly line. Just 1%. And of that 1%, only 1% can throw 100. I'm talking with a 5-weight rod. Now you're throwing a little bit heavier lines here. You can generate a little bit more energy, so they're going to carry a little further, but still they're heavier. You've got to carry through that longer, that air. And in order for you to do that, you have to be capable of keeping that line straight. So if you're casting 100 feet with an 8 or 9, that is excellent. There's not a whole lot you can do to improve it. There's some things that goes back to that hand speed, that you can improve your hand speed and get more distance. But aside from that, you're doing it right. You've had some good instruction. Just keep up the good work. Now, let's see. Casey, this is your rod, man. Let me see you do this.
On the back end?
Give it a shot. Now, I want you guys to get out and put the rods in your hands a little bit. So, are there any questions before you start casting? Nice rod. Nice. And that's just on a back cast. By the way, your forward cast is a reflection of your back cast. So, I'm going to be watching a lot of that. If your back cast isn't right, then your forward cast is not going to be as good as you see him casting. Any questions? How about it, young fella? Give me your name again. Zach. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. You know the difference
Chuck,
was that on that one? I'll tell you in a
You want
second.
me to, should we have guys line up half on this side and half on this side, and
well,
you and...
If you could go, I don't know if you could
get on the other end.
end.
Well, I think if you go to the drain, if everybody goes to the drain and halfway across, half each side, that'll give you enough back cast and forecast.
That's good.
Can be done. It can be done.
What's that?